Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. We have Brithu Barua. Says, hi, Miran. Male 35 India. Thank you for that. Says, I have a question in a video by Andrew Huberman. I found that he suggested a method for rewiring the brain from depression or anxiety. He continues, says he suggests to write down the thoughts which cause the anxiety, followed by saying a positive narrative to oneself, which causes a positive effect. Is this better method than 4 steps by Dr. Schwartz? Of course not. It's a shortcut, which is pretty much step 3 of Dr. Schwartz, the 4-step. Dr. Schwartz 4-step, first step is when you are faced with an intrusive thought, you recognize the intrusive thought as by relabeling it. In other words, if you feel anxiety, instead of just feeling the anxiety, you label it as I'm feeling anxiety right now. You relabel it. Then once you did that, then you proceed to explain it to yourself, such as, is there something wrong? Or am I feeling something wrong? So you're reframing it. So you relabel, then you reframe. Then now that you have explained this to yourself, now you take, and you know what it is now, you've taken the mystic out of it by saying, this is what it is. I'm feeling anxiety, and you recognize, identify the feeling. And with this anxiety that I'm feeling, is there something wrong? Or I'm feeling something. So you analyze it. Once you recognize that this is an intrusive thought, this is a feeling, but there is no credibility to it, then you switch your attention from this, step 3, to something positive and simple, such as drinking tea, such as taking a walk, such as looking at scenery, such as listening to music, such as watching a pleasant movie or something. Something very simple, talking to a friend. So that's the step 3 of the 4 step, which in what you're reading to me, it's only one step. But before you do this step, you better have the other first 2 steps to justify why you're taking your attention from this to something positive. First, you make it recognized by yourself that this is not really what it's representing itself to be as a genuine, extraordinary, or hazardous, or worrisome situation. And then you change the opportunity, you change your attention from this particular whatever it is to something so simple. What beautiful flowers, or what a beautiful scenery. I wonder how many ships are in this beautiful ocean on this day. A question, a ponder of something positive. I wonder how meditation makes me feel if I do some small breathing meditation, like focusing on my breath. Even what Dr. Huberman himself explains by double breath and holding it and then exhaling, that itself is something positive, which you redirect your focus from that, what it's considered intrusive feeling or whatnot, to this, that it is a positive step forward. That's the step 3 that he's talking about. But then Dr. Schwartz completes the 4 steps by saying, once you do this, the brain recognizes after a while that these 3 steps should take place automatically, and the 4th, brain would naturally revalue this whole thing. And after a while, if these intrusive thoughts shows up, you don't have to go through first, second, third step. It just brains revalues it quickly by recognizing all these 3 other steps and moving on to revaluing it, which would mean going about your business pretty much into a positive interaction with the world, life, and secretion of the brain. Jorge Espinoza says, hi, I used to like girls about a month ago. Don't like them anymore. Don't know why. You know, sometimes you get constipated. Doesn't mean that's your nature. This means, okay, you gotta help it out to be regular again. So, and Horace says, I really like the girl 3 months and know nothing at all, only intrusive thoughts of men. Lord, I'm cooked. No, you're not cooked. That's just intrusive thought, HOCD, OCD based, like millions and millions of others. It's us all, and then you learn how to rewire your brain, and you're stronger than ever before afterwards. Stephen is here, says, hi, Marin. Hello, Stephen. Says male 43 Los Angeles. Thank you for that. Says walking my dog and just tuning in. Ah, wonderful. Thank you very much for that. Bithu Barua says, are you eating chocolate when you started this live show? No, I was actually eating one of these candies, which is manuka honey and ginger. I don't know. I just felt like having something sweet. I try not to have sugary stuff, but somehow I felt to have that, so I did. I have my tea here, but it's so hot right now I can't have it, so I'm letting it cool off. All right. Now, what else do we have? So what is it that we still have only among 28,000 people, subscribers? We've got bloody 3 people. I mean, blessed, 3 people here. What's wrong with you two? I'll never go away. Brithu Barua says, do you practice martial arts? Yes, I did. And I taught it for 35 years. But now it's just, if it comes up, I use it. Otherwise, I'm not practicing like you used to. But meditation, you can always do it no matter, what, every day. So, come on now. If you have anything of sharing, go ahead. Purita says, why you're late today? Actually, I wasn't supposed to even have one. I just decided to have one. I don't have a specific hour. Maybe last time I was earlier, but tonight I just thought maybe I will. But nothing necessarily on a schedule. I don't have a schedule. I kind of overdid it in the gym last week, and I'm still paying for it. My shoulder and muscles and everywhere. Steven says, not sure why I've been in such a bad mood this week. I guess I've just been thinking about a lot of things. Yeah, well, yeah, you can also check your blood composition and ask your doctor to check for your estrogen level and testosterone level and see if they are balanced. Sometimes when estrogen goes a little bit higher than it's supposed to be in us men, we may feel a little bit bad mood or emotional or something that is not in our character necessarily. Steven says, I think I need to be more grateful for a lot of things I have in my life. Definitely. 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 Well, the good news is that I cleaned my apartment. It was a mess. I didn't have time to do it. So I had asked of a lady who has a company that does these sort of thing. And she's been here a couple of times and done a great job, floors and everything, kitchen. And I've washed the floors and did lots of things. And eventually I did some juggling around because still a bit, there's lots of stuff around here, but I managed to create a little bit of a nice, clean space. And I'm proud of that because it was not expressing, a good energy when it's so messy. A pipe broke in the wall of my apartment in this building. And so since then, it ruined my Persian carpets, and we've had it out for cleanup and repair. and we had to wait until they clean up the place and open the wall and fix the pipe and all that. So everything, hand in hand. I had to bunch up the stuff one corner of the room and couldn't use my apartment pretty much until we finally got everything cleaned up and the wall is back to its normal and so on and so forth. So I'm slowly trying to bring it back to how it should be. Steven says, I was feeling like this the other night. So I went to the gym for an hour and a half. I felt so much better afterwards and going to really get back into this. Plus mountain biking. Yeah, that's great. But in this season, of course, in California, you probably are warm and, not as wet as it is here. So biking in this season, I've got two beautiful bikes here, one mountain bike and one gravel bike. And I love them. I love both of them, but the mountain bike is heavy. And when I used to go biking in a special mountain area that is just bikes going uphill, I don't know, 20 kilometer uphill, the mountain bikes was very heavy. But my gravel bike is, whizzing by. That's pretty good. Steven says, how's everything over there, Mehran? It must be getting much more cold, especially at nights. Yeah, it's not really warm anymore. I was having tea with my son tonight, and afterwards we took a walk by the ocean, close to the ocean. It was chilly. It's not fun anymore. So, and it is getting cold. But it's not as cold as I remember it at once. I remember it was like -3, and I was having my soccer ball in the field full of snow, just kicking it from one end to the other just to get some exercise. And then it was just last year, a year before, it was -11, and I was walking by the seawalk. But it's not as cold right now. But then again, sometimes it gets pretty cold and so on. So personally, I think this environmental thing, global warming bullshit, is just bullshit. It's an excuse to, increase taxes and tax us. And it's a narrative that they picked on. A bunch of crazy people in the world started it and come up with facts, made up facts about it. But many scientists simply have, expressed their views and their research that the world is really got less CO2 than it needs. It should have even a little bit more. And they're making it sound like that we're being, drowning under CO2, but we don't even have enough. If we fall below a certain amount of CO2, then we won't have vegetation at all. We won't have greenery at all. We'll just, nothing will grow. So sometimes it's colder than before. Sometimes they were talking 2 years ago about, global warming, and suddenly we were -11, which at that season never gets that high, that low. And Steven says they've been talking about global warming for 30 years. That's about the time that son of a bitch started this idea of one world, one government, and to the globalists to dominate the world and dominate people, dominate their money, dominate their freedom and everything. Steven says, my dad would always say how it's BS. Yeah. God bless your dad, and may he rest in peace. He is right, and he was right. So I fully agree and never believed that they tell us, especially never watch the news. Yeah, I don't watch the news. It's all made up bullshit. trying to control the public's minds. Barua says, what's your age right now, Mehran? You look young and fresh. Is Assam tea is the secret of your health, your beauty, a beauty? You mean my handsome self? Yeah, I think Assam tea had something to do. I drank lots of it in my youth. I'm 69 years old. I turned 69 just in October. So, the number is right up there, and I'm not used to that number. Like, I feel like 69, it's an old man, but then I don't necessarily feel old man. And I forget that I am 69. I act like I'm still like, I don't know, 40 or 35 or 30 or 26. I don't know. I'm just living my life. But I know that this is kind of weird because I never felt that when I was growing up, adults usually represent themselves by, um, cross-faced, angry, or some kind of a too serious, or not really a pleasant interaction or pleasant entity necessarily. They were like mostly showing themselves more than what they were, where they were not. And I never was into that. I never take myself that seriously to in thinking that I'm old or this and that. I'm still thinking I'm a kid. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, because you feel like that you're very humble, and people don't really respect that. They expect someone who is, I don't know, mean and disrespectful or rude or something to consider that an authority. I just don't believe in that. So I feel like a kid most of the times, but nevertheless, I got lots of experience. And I am, I guess, fucking old on paper, but I don't identify with that. I don't identify with 69-year-old. And Steven says, I agree, Meron. You look and plus you act young, which is awesome. Yeah, I know. I'm probably one of those people who just dies like that one day, gone. And like the day before, he was like thinking he's 30 years old. I don't know, man. I just think this journey is interesting journey, but we are corralled through the journey to think and behave in a certain way, and what is important, what is not important, is being scripted to us, rather than experiencing life freely and living happy without considering unimportant things important, which the governments and society expectations have created certain things to be considered important. And for that, we've turned into slave of those important things to be observed. Taxes, for example, they fucking tax you, and then they confiscate your stuff and they pressure you to pay it and consider that a godly thing, so to speak. Scare people, infringe on their rights, take their accounts. This is like being a hoodlum. It's not a government, it's a thief. So creating something that is not even right as an important duty of you, I believe in certain amount of taxes that everybody can contribute to make the services go around. But anything beyond that, stupid. Why would I share my own, income from the sweat of my own brow, my expertise, whatever it may be, with the government? The government takes taxes from everything we buy, from property, from fuel, from making the roads, from everything that we use, they take money out of it and they are financed to provide the services. Okay, but not from my income. I can't be double, triple, quadruple taxed. I work, I get paid. That's my money. It's not the government's money. I'm not supposed to pay any portion of it to the government. What should I? I'm paying taxes through other things that I do. If I buy something, for taxes, property taxes, school taxes, road taxes, every goddamn thing taxes. But why am I supposed to be left poor by paying the government, and the government has no sense of proper spending? All the money has gone to Ukraine. Why? Why am I butting in with a nation who's at war with another nation? Why am I getting into that war by financing it and making myself a target? Because if you're helping a country, well, the other country sees you as part of the enemy. So why am I creating that? And why am I losing all of money? And my own veterans in this country don't have much money. My Aboriginal uh, nations here don't have clean water, let's say. Why these monies are not spent on that? Why is not spent on my pension and old age security after 45 years of working in this country? Why am I just getting yay bit, which doesn't even pay rent? You know, there are many people who are not like me working at this age, and they're old and they want to rest. They should have enough money to be able to afford it. But what they're getting from the government's pension or old age security combined, it's not enough to eat and have a decent place to live in. So they're constantly trying to make us be poor and control us, making things that are not important our duty to comply with. Someone is a king and suddenly he owns and everybody's subject of that king. But that bullshit was from, I don't know, 1200. Not now. But these are all excuses. Now they can see such influences are going away. Now they're trying to control people through globalism and through digital currency, so they can close your account, click the account closed electronically, and you're supposed to comply with whatever the shit they want to load on you to do it. Anyhow, having said that, Stephen says, sounds like how it is out here. California is a beautiful state, but the high taxes and the people who run it have done an awful job for the people here. Hey, that guy in your uh, neck of the wood is a loser. He's like this idiot we have in here who's doesn't even know how to govern, yet somehow he's become, you know, the lawmaker. So, well, now that Trump is in, hopefully, in power, he will probably fix a bunch of things for you, especially when Robert Kennedy is going to be involved with the health department and all that, many things. And then you've got Tulsi Gabbard, and these are all respectable people, in my opinion, and they could be a good asset to the whole Trump team. And hopefully that will rub off us and we'll end up having a decent government. Have an election first, if these cowards allow election, and then people can choose, and then we'll have a decent government to bring the Canadian values back, and like our American brothers and sisters be able to coordinate and move on in freedom. Steven says, I think it gets better when Trump is back and his team of people. Yeah, I agree. We're looking forward to that. I'm delighted that Trump is going to be at helm. Now we have whopping 2 people here in this. You can see why actually our programs are not promoted, because we talk about these sort of things freely. I think maybe YouTube doesn't like it. And Steven says, I didn't realize Canada was like, oh, Canada is worse. Canada is worse. We have a prime minister who doesn't know what is what, can't lead his way out of a jiffy bathroom, let alone a country. And we have a finance minister who confiscates people's accounts and closes bank accounts of people who peacefully demonstrated in the name of Canadian freedom. And we have these sort of things going, and there scandal after scandal, improper behavior and embezzlement of money, and all these things are allegations that are facing this government, and we still haven't had proper response and answers and investigations. So it's just awful nonsense going on here. And Sarthak says, hi, hello, Miran. Hello, Sarthak. Says, question for you. Why mind always convinces to do negative things first when in anxiety or panic state? Yeah. Brain thinks that it is protecting you by alerting you of a negative situation so you won't get into that negative situation. But when amygdala, which is responsible for the, fight and flight and all these protecting you, when it gets overactive, it overdoes this function of keeping you alert of a general danger of some kind and sends out emotional danger signals that they don't exist. It's either has gone wacko, there's a glitch in it, it needs to be rewired, or it is trying to overprotect you, but overly does the job. But keep that negative narrative. It's intending to keep you aware so you won't fall into that narrative, but it's so much that it becomes the thing that your attention is on and goes for the negative, and you start thinking that that's how I should be thinking. And so that's usually why we think, if we think negative, then that means we're aware. But that awareness also makes you shy away from positive function, positive thinking, and creating the positive energy by kind of going in the corner and hiding, because the negativity has been so much signals on it that you don't even have a chance to judge anything. You just constantly doing like this. It's like when a friend of yours throws a baseball at you but doesn't. It just fakes it. But you still think it's coming because all the action shows that it's coming. You're convinced that it's coming, but it's not coming. And because you're convinced, you will act as, you dodge or dog, or because you think it's coming, and your action is based on what you believe. So the idea is, in the signals that the amygdala sends, is just analyze before you react. But because it's a old million years entity, or a tool that is supposed to be there to keep us alive and away from the dangers, like when the dinosaurs were about to, I don't know, create a danger to you when you're in the jungle and you hear a twitch, you don't, and the amygdala says, oh, there's a twitch, there's a dinosaur coming in, because that's what comes to your mind, because at those days, that was the thing the dinosaurs and other dangerous animals would do. So you hear a twitch, you get a signal, the danger is coming, so you start running. You don't wait to see if this signal was credible or not. You start running, and then maybe you will check and see if it was true or not. But most often you just run, you just react to the signal. You don't check the signal to be accurate or not. And the same thing now, when the signal is sent, you react. Oh, it's negative, so I must defend myself. And then you go into that narrative and you forget about proper assessment or judgment. You start constantly rolling on that negative signal that something is really bad happening. Was nothing happening, but you imagine it that way. Then you become afraid physically. You react to that thought, and that physical reaction that is to the bogus thought, because the physical reaction is actual in real life and real, you feel it, get even scared or whatever happens to your body or your twitch, you take that as an evidence that the actual thought was correct because you reacted to it. But this reaction is because the brain is so powerful that can make the body react. Not that the reaction of the body is an evidence that the thought was accurate or credible. Anyhow, Stephen says, seems just like the Democratic administration that is currently running this country. Yeah, definitely. Even worse. Even worse. At least you guys have some kind of respect for your constitution. I mean, this guy, forget it. Nothing like that. Tamerman says, how can anybody strengthen his personality? No, it depends on what part of the personality you're talking about. It's very general. It's not like one thing you got to do to strengthen your personality. First of all, be aware, be knowledgeable, consider your importance. Don't think others are better than you, because why would they? How can they? Everybody's unique in their own way, has specialities. And Sartak says, for example, if I see a man and he's angry at me, why mind first solution or suggestion is to kiss and comfort that other man, but I'm totally straight man and I love to be straight. Well, that has nothing to do with your question, really. That's about OCD. It's not about negative or positive or anything of that sort. You may be a very peaceful person. You may want to stay away from conflict. You may have a low testosterone. You may have a little bit high estrogen. You got to balance these and find out. Or you might want to be on the good side of everybody so you can be liked and loved and have friends around you. There could be many reasons, but none of them is having to do with your gender or your inclination. It's a personality issue that you allow other people to feel they're strong because you want to be popular. You want them to think of you as a good person. So you're paying ransom by your agreeable nature, rather than, if you think they don't have the right to be angry, you can just tell them, listen, if you're angry, go out there and start running and get that aggression out, because here you want to be angry, there would be resistance and there would be reaction to it. So might as well mind your manners, and that would work good for both of us. Something of that sort, rather than just because somebody's angry, that's proven to you that you should comply to their side of the story or their opinion about something, or agree to their whatever it is that they're trying to achieve. You guys know that I have a channel. I mean, I have a site, mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com. We can make an appointment. We can discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. And the bat sign says, hi, Miran, male 39, Netherlands. Ah, thank you. From that neck of the wood. It says, thank you. I will always remember when I broke up and was happy. You said in one of your videos, think of how blessed you are. You have your cup of tea. Okay. It just came in 2 times. And it says, Tamerman says, how do we accept what? Disease as can't be healed. It's a very difficult question. Yeah, that's a bummer. I don't have an answer on that because it's stupid, whatever I say. Um, I don't know what disease that is. I mean, most diseases are curable, but if something that is not possible, then it is what it is. I mean, we still want to protect ourselves and provide for ourselves and use our ingenuity to make life more comfortable. And as silly as it may sound, and I apologize if it sounds insensitive because I'm not, uh, that could possibly, if possible, be a motivation for you to make more money and bring more comfort to yourself because uh, nobody else would be able to provide that. So for that, you need to be more successful. However, it is that you can think of ways with your ingenuity, knowledge, or professionalism in some field to bring that kind of a lifestyle for yourself, uh, despite and especially because of a certain limitation that such disease may have caused you. And the bad sign says, I have a question. Lately, I don't feel 100%. Feel like what? Brain fog or something. I'm just not 100% present. Can't concentrate 100%. What could it be? It could be, how old are you? 29? 39. You might want to check your testosterone level and see why you have this negative disposition. Maybe you don't recover fast enough after a workout. Um, Maybe it's as simple as you working out and getting that energy refreshed by spending it out and allowing new energy to come in. But you can ask your doctor to do a TRT test and your estrogen level and your testosterone level and see how much free testosterone is available, even if your testosterone level is high, but you got to see what's the free testosterone amount. And then also your estrogen level and all that, and see if that is something, the reason that is causing you the fogginess. And Tamerman says, can't be healed yet. Yeah, we discussed that. And Sartak says, why not you start making Instagram reels or TikTok videos as you will get more? I have. I'm on Instagram and I'm on TikTok. I had a political channel on TikTok, two of them, both have eventually, like I would put something on within a week, I had 100,000 views. And it was all political about Canada and all these. And it was very popular. And within a short time, I had like 14, 15,000 followers. But the system, TikTok, which works with the government, they closed the account. Like many other Canadians who talk freely about challenges in this country, they close them. They don't want free speech. And and then I had the other one and the other one for no reason. One of the videos was marked as, violating community guidelines, but it was about milk. A doctor was talking about connection of milk and diabetics because milk has lactose, and lactose is one of the sugars. And it was very, very clearly understood, and it was very scientific. They called it, violation. And the two channels of mine that were running side by side, I had the same video on both. One of them had like 25,000 views of that very video. On the other channel, they dubbed it community violation. That's my own video, and I'm not talking about anything other than, things that is clearly decent talking. So, but I do have my Mind That Seeks Truth channel, which is talking about the stuff that we talk here. And that is already Let me show you. You guys can make a copy of this if you like. Oh, come on. Okay, there you go. Author. So, come on. What is this now? There it is. This is what you guys can maybe take a note of. Oops. I don't know if it shows okay or not. There it is. And my TikTok is here. And then Instagram is here and TikTok is here. You can see them both. So you can check them out and see the ones that are closed are the political ones, but the ones that are open are my own, talk about things like stuff we talk about or some reels about my workout in the gym, stuff like that. And of course, on TikTok, I should put more live on TikTok. When I put live on TikTok, suddenly it goes like 400, 500 viewers. And I should do that. I don't know why I'm still on YouTube. Out of 28,000, we have 4 people here. As much as I love all of you, but, it's kind of ridiculous that there's. And the bad sign says, Mehran, I remember you were very happy and laughing a lot. Is all okay on your side? Hope you're well. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Well, my mom is in care center and she's 91 and she often doesn't remember who I am. And as much as she gets happy every day that I see her, because I go there every day, every single day. That's been like that for 2 years, every single day. I couldn't go see her when they had the vaccine mandates because I didn't want to take a vaccine. But once they dropped it, which was in 2023, 2023, no, 2022, I believe. Anyhow, once they dropped it, I've been there every day, every single day, and mom gets very happy to see me, but she often doesn't remember my relation with her. Sometimes she thinks I'm my dad, sometimes she thinks I'm her brother, sometimes she thinks I'm her son. And then when I remind her, when she says, "Who's your mom?" and I say, "Mom, are you kidding me?" And then I remind her of the midwife who, brought me to this world from my mom's womb. And she says, "Oh, I was joking. Of course I remember." So it's pretty kind of saddening when I see mom, who used to be a god, in our opinion. She fed us, took care of us, and all that. But now she's like a little child. And it breaks my heart that this strong woman is like that. And, I haven't had the appreciation of, you know, other than my son and my ex-wife and friends and so on, who can see what I've done and have done everything perfectly good. There are others who have created some kind of a negative atmosphere while they themselves don't do shit because they don't even live in this country. They just yap, 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 and trying to make themselves feel important. That's what you would face with many situations, that they don't know anything about what's going on and they start coming up with things in order to whatever is a narrative that could serve their purposes. So I just continue doing my duties, and that's all of us, including you guys, can do, regardless of what kind of a interaction or reaction you get from people that you expect to do their type of side of duty for the same goal. And the rest of it is that I try to keep fit by going to the gym. And I wish I could put the reel up for you to see how I goofed last week in the gym. I did a 120-pound close grip incline, 5 reps, and then I rested, and then I said, okay, let's add 20 pounds, 10 pounds each side. And so I was 140 pounds. And I did lift once, and it was good lift. And then I said, okay, that's enough in my mind while I'm there. And I said, no, don't be a wuss. One more time. And that one time, I got stuck here. I couldn't go any higher. And then I was holding it from falling on me, like, because I didn't have enough glitch on the stick, on the Smith machine to lock it back. So I started yelling out for some people to help. And as soon as I start coming down, I almost hear a couple of people grabbed it. So I wish I could put that reel, or maybe I can put it on for next time. But that really messed up my muscles here and messed up my here. And I think considering the different hormone levels, it is affecting this whole area, my shoulder. And even now, if I, and also due to my martial arts experience in university, and since that for 35 years, lots of rolling, lots of falling, I have a little joint challenge here. Like, I think from all the falling and rolling, there's some kind of a thing in my joint here. There's a button here that sometimes if I sit wrong and it kind of goes out of its, I don't know, norm, if I push the button, I feel like I want to throw up, but I won't. Obviously, because the vagus nerve from the brain, stem brain, goes all the way through here and then through stomach and goes to the rest of the body. And it also is responsible for speech and for the controlling this reaction to what I react, the throwing up thing. The nerves is here, but today it was not here because I had kind of moved weird yesterday, and it was here, painful right from here up this way. So I freaked out. I thought maybe it's something to do with the heart, and I wasn't sure, should I go to the hospital or not? And then for some reason I did some other moves, and this pain went away completely, and then only this was here. So these things are part of my challenges, but otherwise I think it was all okay. And the rest of it is just doing my things, clients with my real estate position, and at the same time with my consultation channel, which I love to attend to that. And hopefully there will be enough awareness of what I do, so we'll focus only on this when I get older, which is now, but don't say it to anyone. And the bad sign says, you're a good man, Miran. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Steven says, Miran, there's a part of me that wants revenge on that girl. Oh, fuck that. Are you kidding me, Steven? Steven, is that the only asshole woman in this world? You know that there's only a few asshole women and there's few asshole men in this world. That's it. Maybe 10 of them. But they just get around a lot. Look, the world is full of idiots and assholes and selfish asses and all kind, men or women. Now you want to go around and teach every single one of these assholes that you come in contact with in your journey of life a lesson? That's your job? Wasting your life? I remember once I had gone back home to Iran when I was in university in Portland, and I'd gone for summer. And I was old enough at the time to have license, and I was driving my father around to where he was going. I was driving, my father was sitting on the passenger side. And then I was in the main road going, and there was this car from a branch road, smaller road, coming into the big road that I was going and blocking my way. And I stopped the car, and being a young man and full of, whatever. And so I took a look at the guy, eye to eye. And my father said, "Come on, what are you doing? Just go. What do you want to do? Teach the whole world manners or what's right, what's wrong? Just keep on going your way. You can't spend your life teaching people to do things." And there was another incident that was years before. It was a very spiritual incident for me. If you guys want to hear it, it takes maybe a couple of minutes. Just put a one. Like if you want to hear it, put a one. I'll tell you the story. And if you are in a hurry or want to go to the bathroom or something, then put a two. You don't want to hear it. So I'll go to the next story until you guys put a one or two there. So if you want to hear it, put a one. The 6 people, you got to have 6 ones. And let me listen to read the other story until we get more answers from you guys. And Tumorman says, by disease, I mean, for example, you become blind. How do you adapt with this? Oh, Tumorman, don't tell me you're blind, because you wouldn't be able to write anything. So, if it's a hypothetical question, don't ask me that question, because it's just something that I can't help, or I can't come up with a meaningful answer, and would all change your mood, because we're all compassionate people. My guitar teacher, when I was 11 years old or 10 years old, was a blind gentleman. He was so good in playing piano, guitar, drums, and violin. A very talented man. But when he was a child, his grandmother poured a wrong medicine to his eyes, and he became blind. And I remember when he would come to our home to teach me, he would come to our home. My mother had found this teacher, and it was a very difficult thing for me. But he was blind, and he was my teacher. He would read Braille notes, and he was an expert in what he was, and he was teaching me how to write it, how to do all of that. And so when my mother would bring ice cream for him to it's customary to bring something for the guest. And he wanted to have the ice cream. Okay. And his finger would go into the ice cream to find the bowl of ice cream. And then he would find the spoon and enjoy it. So, and then I would have to take him under his arm, or he would take my arm, and then we would walk outside, and there was a little short jump. In Iran, they had these little kind of little mini rivers, not river, just the waterways. He had to jump over it, or so it helped him to get a taxi for him. In the old days, there was no call taxi. You had to stand in the street and wave a taxi in if you see them. So it was quite of a emotional experience for me. But at the time, I couldn't, I wasn't emotional about it because I was a child and thought, didn't think much of it. But remembering it, it's so much respect for the man. So what I'm trying to say is that with his situation, he had turned it into an amazing life for himself. He was making money. He was expert in a bunch of things. His hearing was so amazingly strong, and he's tuning all the instruments on his ears. No special, instrument for it. And he was paying his brother's way to university by his, you know, uh, business. So all I know is that may this not be necessary for anyone, but it's been done before. And what's been done before, I guess, other people must also be able to learn from it and be able to do. And we have a super chat from Sartak. Says, never leave YouTube. Live as you are. Our superhero. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Lygia is here. Says, hi, Lygia, 34 Brazil. Hello there. Says, the best revenge for Stephen is indifference, as we girls hate not having attention. There we go. Excellent perspective. Excellent way of the opinion on this matter. And so, Stephen, you shouldn't give a shit. You spend your time and energy on someone who's been good to you, not someone who's been not worth your extended energy. It was a mistake, the energy and attention you give to that girl. Now you want to repeat the mistake by giving more energy to that girl? I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? It's like saying, I don't mean to belittle or disrespect anybody, including that girl, ex, but as a way maybe to see it, when you see something stinking, let's say if you just happen to not be able to hold yourself and you're in the jungle and you had to relieve yourself from whatever, have a bowel movement, what do? If it smells and it stinks, will you get closer to it? You stick around, stand there looking at it, or you take as much distance as you can because you don't want to be in close proximity of something that is stinky, not positive. There's no use for you. By standing there and telling, oh, you stink, you piece of shit, oh, that's a shit. Of course it stinks. It's not going to be bothered by calling him stinky. That's his nature. That's his made out of. So you try to express your dissatisfaction from this girl. You're this, you did that. She knows she's an asshole. So what do you think? It's going to bother her to hear from you? If she had any sense to be decent, she wouldn't do what she had done by cheating on you, going to someone else, but then coming back. That was on you to accept her back. Yeah. Because you're looking from the eye of the need, not if she's qualified or not. You're just trying to satisfy your desire for whatever it was that you desired, attention, companionship, sex, whatever it was. So that was your lack of better judgment. So the best thing in my opinion, is to take responsibility for action that resulted in such outcome, and then don't spend more time on the wrong selection, and don't share your energy, your good energy, as a good man that I know you are, and you know it too, to spend it on being close to the close proximity of the shit. Instead, take as much distance as you can and go away with the people who deserve your attention and your energy. You've done that once, don't give them more of your energy. That's all I have to say about that. And Steven says, thanks, Marian and Lydia. I won't give that thought any more attention. There we go. That's where we are. Okay, now, do you have anything else here? We have 5 people here. That's pretty good. We're breaking records now. All right. By the way, that's a beautiful tea. Lovely. And Steven says, I'll for sure do this. Thank you. You're quite welcome. So guys, I think it's been 1 hour and 9 minutes and 14, 15, 16 seconds. So I think it's time for me to mosey on out. Unless you guys have any more questions. So I'll wait a minute or two if you have any fired up. Otherwise, I'll go watch Deep Space Nine or something. Steven says, good night. All right, good night, Steven, and thank you for being here. I appreciate that. And so it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Damn, I thought she is the one. Everything was all good. She suddenly turned as if I was no longer who I was anymore. Why did she do that? Why do I feel so devastated? How can I feel better? How can I understand what is going on in my head? How can I go on? I will never fall in love again. Ah, things finally make sense. I now understand why she did what she did, and why I feel so shitty about it all, and why I miss her so much. I now know how to not miss her, and how to move on and build a better me, more confident and more aware of the role of my thoughts, consciousness, desires, fears, and ego in my relationship, and how I feel after a breakup. I got to talk to him or watch his videos on YouTube.
It may all seem like a mystery to you right now, but you can always go to my YouTube channel where you will find over 300 videos on this subject and more. You can find out exactly why you feel the way you do and why your thoughts are the way they're reacting and the role of your psyche in all this. Plus how to feel good again, become strong and get your confidence back and ready to move on. And more importantly, how to move on. And you will certainly be fine once you know how your mind works, dear. If you still needed to talk to me one-on-one, that's always possible through my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. There you can book a Skype consultation time for us and we can chat about what's concerning you. This is what I do with all people who need it from all around the world.